Well, as we all know, the verdict read not guilty, and the FBI confirmed there has been no evidence to support that George Zimmerman was a racist. Yet, the Justice Department continues to investigate him for possible civil rights violations. So should they pursue a hate crimes case? Judge Napolitano says yes, but here's the twist. It's not against George Zimmerman. Okay, so who should the Justice Department be going after?
If the Justice Department concludes that George Zimmerman was prosecuted because he was not black, and to satisfy the howling of the crowds, same crowds that are still howling for his prosecution, then the people who made the decision to prosecute him violated the federal civil rights laws, pardon me, and the government should prosecute them. This is not going to happen. The Florida prosecutors basically did the federal government's bidding. They blew it. They didn't try the case right. They didn't charge him with the right crime. They didn't even raise the issue of race. But if the government decides to prosecute him on the federal level in order to placate the same howling mobs that are howling for his neck, that were howling for it a year and a half ago, that will be highly inappropriate, and they'll lose the case. They'll lose the case because his witnesses, George Zimmerman's witnesses, will be the FBI agents who investigated him a year ago and exonerated him.
Well, you're talking about the howling crowds. Is it your premise that he was prosecuted because, George Zimmerman, of his race?
He was prosecuted because of the howling crowds. If he had been the same race as Trayvon Martin, I don't think that he would have been prosecuted because the evidence simply wasn't there. Look, Professor Dershowitz has been making this argument all week, and I'm 100% with him. The prosecutors, the lawyers for the government, if they don't think they can prove their case, they have an obligation to tell the judge they don't go forward with the case. These were intelligent people that prosecuted him. They knew or must have known that they didn't have the evidence there to succeed. They had no right to put him through that prosecution.
What does it mean to you that the Justice Department is opening up this 1-800 tip line? Anybody that's had any racist experience with George Zimmerman, please call in.
It means that this guy, Tom Perez, who's the Deputy Attorney General of the United States of America in charge of civil rights and President Obama's nominee to become Secretary of Labor, is going to be in a lot of hot water when he goes to his confirmation hearing, because he is the one that is ginning up animosity against the verdict in Florida. The Justice Department itself is arguably fomenting the crowds that are attempting to influence the Justice
Certainly
Department.
It's not Tom Perez's idea.
Well, I don't know if it's his idea, but he admitted that he's been making these calls.
Right, he had the conference call at 3:30 on Monday afternoon.
But, Judge, if race were a factor in this case, would not the prosecution have used it?
Absolutely. The prosecutors in Florida, again, they were intelligent people, but they broke the law by prosecuting a case they couldn't prove. We're aware of the FBI report that had exonerated Zimmerman, and they prosecuted him anyway.
Interesting stuff. All right, Judge.
This is not going to go away, guys.
No, it's not.
All right.
And it's good to have you on retainer.
Thank you, Mr.
As long as we're not paying the bill. All right, thanks, Judge. Come